How's it going, everybody? The PlayStation Store is wrapping up a batch of sales right now, including the Games Under $15 sale, the Fall Savings sale, as well as the Halloween sale. Want to do a couple of videos as this sale is wrapping up, and once again, deals under the price of $5. A lot of stuff to go over. We already did a deals under $5 video. I think it was on Sunday, but yeah, here we're back again because there's so much stuff to cover. So let's get right into it. Let's kick things off with Metro 2033 Redux and Metro Last Light Redux. Now, if you want to get both of these titles, I would recommend you to wait and see if you can find the Metro Redux collection on sale. That goes on sale often for like $6, so you'll end up saving $2 on one of these titles if you were, as opposed to buying them separately. If you want to pick up just one, Metro 2033 is the route to go. These games are incredibly atmospheric first-person shooters, super narrative-driven. I wouldn't recommend you to go into this game expecting fast-paced action gameplay, but there's a lot of tense moments to the game. Story is really good, and visually, this game originally released on PlayStation 3 and 360. 2033 actually never even came out on PS3. It was 360 and PC only, but it was a game of that generation. The Redux version does look better, and that's quite nice, and for $4 a pop, not bad. But again, if you want to get the Redux collection, hopefully that'll be on sale in the relative near future. Moving on from that, this deal is just crazy. The Shadow Warrior Collection, $4.99. This includes Shadow Warrior 1 and 2. These games are super fast-paced action slashing shoot-em-ups, or shooters, I should say. It's not a shoot-em-up, but you got the idea. Shadow Warrior is incredibly bloody. It is over the top, and the action gameplay is great. To get both Shadow Warrior 1 and 2 for $5 is insane, given that, not that many years ago, people were spending $50 on Shadow Warrior 2 when it came out, and yeah, that game was, you could make an argument it was worth $50. I forget if it was 40 or 50. I think it was 50, but nonetheless, now you get both games for $5. This is a franchise that I feel like a lot of people have missed out on, and if you're one of those, I would implore you to check it out. Shadow Warrior 3, nowhere near as good as these two titles. It's still okay, but that game still goes for a hefty price, so the fact you can get the first and second games for $5 here, that's crazy, and definitely would give that a shout. Next up, we have Shadow Tactics Blades of the Shogun. Unfortunately, this game is done by Mimimi Games, who recently just shut down or announced their closure because of their latest title, Shadow Gambit. It was really well received, but I guess, their games were never gonna resonate at a high commercial level, and obviously game development's just a hard battle to get into these days. The expectations and the ambition for some of these games are just crazy. But back to Shadow Tactics, Blades of the Shogun, that development studio did a great job with this game. Edo period setting, tactics-based gameplay, a variety of difficulty settings, so if you want an easier experience and just take in the setting, and, those aspects of the game, the other aspects outside of gameplay, that's an option as well, but can get pretty challenging. So $4 for this. You guys know me, I'm not crazy about tactics games, but there's a few that always grip me. XCOM, Shadow Tactics, definitely another one here. Next up, we have Alienation, 75% off for $4.99. Now, this game is available on PlayStation Plus Extra. This is a Housemarque game, and Housemarque these days, one of the more known studios as far as PlayStation studios go. Obviously, they most recently put out Returnal, which was fairly well received, albeit a bit frustrating. Alienation is more of their AA style experiences, meaning it doesn't have a gigantic budget attached to it, but it was a budget title on launch and a run-and-gun action game. And once again, Housemarque Games, if you know them, you know their particle effects are absolutely crazy, and game to game, that stays true, and Alienation is no different. Once again, has that in spades, so certainly check this one out. $4.99 I think is a pretty solid price. It is also cooperative play if you do want to do that. Speaking of co-op play, a pretty hilarious game to always go through, in my opinion, is Magicka, and Magicka 2 is down to $2.99. Now, Magicka is a game that you don't take too seriously, because if you take it too seriously, honestly, it's just going to break down into a brawl between you and your friends if you do play this game cooperatively. But Magicka is a great time. It's comedic, it's quirky, it's zany. It's not something, again, to take all too seriously, but if you just want some chaotic fun with friends, Magicka is definitely going to offer you that. I remember playing the original Magicka on PC years and years ago. I feel like it's been like a decade since the original Magicka has come out, and just having a crazy fun time with that with friends. But Magicka 2, $2.99. Not a franchise that resonates a lot on PlayStation, but certainly one I would recommend to. Next up, we have SteamWorld Dig 2. If you're a Plus subscriber, this is down to $2.99. This deal is insane for a Metroidvania that unfortunately does not get the love that it deserves. And that's just going to be the reality with Metroidvanias in general, because the competition is so steep in this market, given that there's so many big games. You've got your Hollow Knights, your Dead Cells of the world, Bloodstain, etc., etc., that even a game as good as SteamWorld Dig 2 did not get the attention it deserved. Now, critically, it was received incredibly well. I believe IGN gave it a 10 out of 10. I don't know if I will go that far, but visually, the game looks great. Gameplay is solid, and if you're a fan of Metroidvanias, you're gonna enjoy this one as well. I didn't sink a crazy amount of hours into this. Like, with Metroidvanias, it seems like people have the ones that they really like, and Dead Cells is the one that I always go back to, but SteamWorld Dig 2, when it came out, I definitely had some fun with this, and $2.99 is a great price for this. Next up, Super Meat Boy. Plus subscribers get this for $1.49. Look, Super Meat Boy is a classic. Let's just be honest. It's a classic. Is it frustrating? Yes. It's a precision platformer that will absolutely have you rage. It will absolutely have you damn near break a controller, but that's kind of the fun and the charm of Super Meat Boy. It's little bit of a quirky platformer, not for everybody, but if you want to give a platformer a shot, and a precision platformer with some challenge and timing is of utmost importance, you should definitely check out Super Meat Boy. $1.49 for that is great. Next up, we have Cloudpunk, which is down to $4.99. Now, the PS4 version of this game is actually on PlayStation Plus Extra, while the PlayStation 5 version is not. The PS5 version improves, has a lot of improvements, so you know, that's pretty cool. A neon noir story in a rain-drenched cyberpunk metropolis. It's your first night on the job working for the Cloudpunk delivery service. 2 rules: don't miss a delivery and don't ask what's in the package. It's very much more of an atmospheric delivery exploration game. Very light on any action gameplay or anything like that, but the setting is awesome. Obviously, when it comes to a cyberpunk setting, that's always gonna hit home for me, and I think for a lot of you guys, you like cyberpunk settings when they're presented well, and I feel like with Cloudpunk, this is a game that didn't get a lot of shine, but it's one that if you're a fan of that cyberpunk setting, I think you'll greatly enjoy. Next up, we have God Eater Resurrection, 75% off for $4.99. Anime Monster Hunter is what you're always going to hear this being referred to. Now, this is God Eater 1, the PSP game, and upgraded with this Resurrection version. I think they were giving this game as a bonus if you bought God Eater 2 when it came out. I feel like that was the case, and that's how this game originally came to be, this PlayStation 4 version. But yeah, it's Anime Monster Hunter, more of a budget end title given that it is a PSP game, but if you want that anime aesthetic with a monster hunting style experience that is a little bit grindy, God Eater is going to offer you that. God Eater was incredibly popular in Japan. I'm surprised we haven't gotten another entry, to be perfectly honest, but what can you do? Next up, we have P-Cube's Nexomon. This is a game that I probably should mention more often. Obviously, you have a lot of Pokemon clones, competitors, whatever you want to call them. Temtem's a pretty notable one, but Nexomon is a total throwback to Pokemon. Catch, evolve, and collect over 300 unique Nexomon, assemble the ultimate team, and save your friends and save the world as well, and clash against legendary heroes. You've got, again, 300 Nexomon, and this is a franchise that's actually gaining a lot of steam. I don't know if you guys have seen Nexomon 3. Look up the trailer for that game. They're going a little bit bigger in scale in terms of what to expect out of that game. But if you want a Pokemon competitor on PlayStation, and you're not going to be getting Pokemon on PlayStation, of course, Nexomon is a title you should check out. And lastly, another title from P-Cube, Steins Gate Zero is 90% off for $3.49. If you know me, I don't talk about it often, but Steins Gate was one of those anime that I watched back in the early 2010s, I want to say it was. Yeah, like mid-2010s is when I watched it, but nonetheless, it's tremendous. Steins Gate Zero is the, I guess you could say, follow-up to Steins Gate, or tells another story that is essential to the Steins Gate universe. Let's put it that way. And it's $3.49. This is a visual novel, very, very lengthy, but such a dark tone to it, but incredibly engrossing. Steins Gate Zero also has an anime that was awesome. You should watch Steins Gate if you're not a fan of visual novels, and then watch Steins Gate Zero. You'll probably like them so much that you're like, damn, I want to get the entirety of the story, and then you'll play through the visual novels as well. That's at least what happened to me, because I watched Steins Gate, I think after I played Danganronpa, so, you know, at that point I had some experience with visual novels, but certainly not a genre I was super into. But then after I watched Steins Gate, I was like, oh man, let's go play the visual novel. And obviously Steins Gate Zero came out. The anime came out just a few years ago for Steins Gate Zero, but yeah, it's fantastic, incredibly gripping narrative. And if you do watch the original Steins Gate anime, I'm just letting you guys know the first, like, Few episodes are a little bit of a drag. I would say the first like 5 to 6 episodes are incredibly compelling. Then there's like a little bit of a slog from like episodes, I want to say 7 to 11, and then after that it's just guns blazing. It's fantastic, and the visual novel obviously more of an in-depth experience, given that it's super lengthy comparatively to a 24-episode anime. But yeah, take it for what you will. I think it's great, and $3.49 is an excellent price. That'll be doing it for me. Again, all of these sales are ending soon, but you guys know how the PlayStation Store operates. After these sale ends, I'm sure more sales will take their place, and we are coming up on Black Friday, the holiday season, all that good stuff. So that'll do it for me. Sound off with all of your thoughts in the comment section down below. Thank you for watching, and goodbye. Hey guys, we hope you enjoyed the video, and if you did, make sure to hit the subscribe button, and if you're already subscribed, do us a favor and hit the bell icon. This way you'll be notified whenever we post a new video. That's the best way to keep up with all of our uploads, and we usually try to upload 2 videos a day. And with the bell icon hit, you'll be notified whenever we do upload a video. As always, thanks for watching.